Today we're going to be filming a special objects video for the MB Voices page. Um, yeah, so jump right into it, I guess. Sandy, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So my favorite special object in my house is this extremely old powder dish from Avon. I think it's like from the 60s. So this is a powder dish that was always in our house growing up. It's really old and chipped and whatever, like you can see there and inside. Anyway, as far back as I can remember, my mom always used this little powder dish to keep her powder and her powder puff. And I remember like being a baby and just getting out of the bathtub and her standing me up kind of on the toilet seat and drying me off and then powdering me up with this powder puff. And so it's always meant something to me. Over the years, my mom stopped keeping it on the main cupboard of our bathroom, and it was always in a closet underneath. And so I would always go when I went to visit her. I would take it out and always put it back on top for the duration of my stay at her house. And then when she was doing up kind of her will and who wanted what from the house, this was the first thing that I called dibs on. But surprisingly, none of my siblings actually wanted it. So anyway, that's my special object that I really care about. And I use it every day. And I think about my mom's hugs when I use it. So that's my special object. Over to you, Meredith.
So my special object is this ring. My grandmother gave all her 5 daughters this style of ring with their birthstone when they were between like age 5 and 10. And my mom gave this to me about 5 years ago, and I've worn it pretty much consistently that whole time. And I like looking down and seeing it. I like wearing a lot of rings most of the time, but this one's really nice because it makes me think of my grandmother and my mom, and the three of us have a really special bond. So that's nice. Dan, let's hear about yours.
Okay, this Christmas ornament is my special object. So there's like a picture of my grandmother on it. My godmother had this made, one for me and my mom for Christmas this year, and my grandmother is in long-term care. She has dementia, so she can't spend Christmas with us anymore. So it's just nice to have this on the tree during Christmas so everybody can see her and she can kind of be there with us. And it's not really Christmassy, so I hang it on a magnet on my fridge like since Christmas, and I'll always do that. So yeah. So do you want to share yours, Abby?
Sure. So this object is my country hat. Kind of signifies my love for music and going to concerts. And this one particular is Shania Twain. I had went there a couple summers ago to Montreal. It was my first plane ride. It was my first everything, and I, of course, loved it. And Shania Twain, I can remember listening to her on my Walkman and dancing and singing. So it's pretty special. So yeah. Over to you, Sydney.
Okay, so mine is like pretty random. It's just this like glass dish full of like beach glass and seashells. And this is the like, I guess, dish that I hold like my favorite pieces in, because there's some that you just don't find that often. Like anybody who's into beach glass knows that like you never find red glass. Like for whatever reason, red is like the hardest one to find, and this is the only one that I've ever found, this little tiny piece. Anyways, it just reminds me of summer and traveling with my parents, and there's probably stuff in here from like all over New Brunswick, definitely PEI, probably Nova Scotia, because I just love beachcombing. It's one of my favorite things to do. So yeah, that's my special object. So Emma, you're up next.
Okay. My special object is this picture, if you can see it. So it's of my 2 horses. This one, his name is Prize, and this one is Corky. So Prize turned 30 this April, which is very old for a horse, and I've had her since I was 9 years old. So my mom got that picture done up for me for Christmas this past year, and now it hangs above our bed, and it's like one of the only pictures that I have of my horses printed. So it's really special, and I love looking at it every day. Allie, do you want to share yours next?
Sure. So mine, of course, is this plant that I've had for about 5 years now. It was probably my first plant, and I got a philodendron because they told me it was going to be really easy to care for. So I've propagated it a bunch and gave some cuttings away to friends, but it's special to me because I bought this plant when I moved out on my own and I lived by myself. So it kind of signified that transition in my life. And then, of course, my collection grew, but that's where my whole love for plants started. And it kind of signifies me growing up into being who I am now. So that's really important to me. Kayla, do you want to share yours?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so my object is this apron. It belonged to my grandmother, and after she passed, my grandpa gave it to me. And it's really special. I don't really like baking, but this holds special memories because my Grammy would always make like rolls and anything that she knew that we liked when we were coming. She would make like cookies, rolls, whoopie pies, like just anything. And so like having this is just really special to me. Sid?
Well, thank you guys for sharing. Those were all very beautiful special objects. I mean, I know some of us probably have tons that we can share. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for watching, and we invite you to browse through the MB Voices website. This is a really important initiative to get people talking and storytelling. And if you're interested in sharing your story, please fill out the contact form on the website. Thank you.